Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our Happy Friday show. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm happy to be here because we were sprinting last minute. I got kind of detained at the warehouse today because we wanted to finish quilting a quilt, the one that's hanging behind me. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's of course Friday, so thank you for being here. Make sure you say hi in the comments, state your name and where you're tuning in from, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Send us those hearts and thumbs up. We love it throughout our show. Of course, it's Friday, so it is time to celebrate Friday with a cocktail, a fresh new one. This is going to be our last Kinky cocktail. Kinky was our flavor theme throughout February, and so I thought it was appropriate to make a classic version of this drink, and today we're having a Kinky Hurricane. So Hurricane is very classic. It's got white and dark rum, so very tropical. It's got since Kinky has passion fruit flavors, I added that instead of most times people use simple syrup or passion fruit syrup, but we have just passion fruit juice and orange juice, lime juice, and just a little bit of grenadine to make it that great color and add a tad bit of sweetness. Shake it all up, pour it over ice, and it looks really pretty in a hurricane glass. Actually, that's where the glass got its name, from this classic cocktail. So cheers, 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 HP.
Cheers.
It's rum. It's rum. Yes.
That's strong.
It is strong. It's a lot of flavor. Now I wanted to show you my shirt.
Cue it.
Time flies when you're having rum. I had to put that on for today. So of course, this concludes our Kinky month. Our Kinky month. So next month, if you want to prepare our flavor of the month, I was debating. There's so much to choose from, but this is another favorite of mine. So it is a liqueur called Palma. It's a pomegranate liqueur. Now, don't worry if you can't get Palma or you don't want to invest in a bottle. You can always just get some pomegranate juice and probably be able to make all the cocktails that we'll make in March. But Palma is delicious. Pomegranate is delicious, nice and tart with that extra little bit of sweetness. And so I can't wait. I've got lots of recipes for pomegranate cocktails. All right. So lots of pitter-patter baby quilts showing up in Gudrun's Quilt Crew. You are making multiples. I'm so happy to see it, and I swear every single fabric I see around the warehouse or here at home, I'm like, this would make a great pitter patter. And so I know they're going to be coming nonstop throughout, this month, next month, throughout the year, I think. So gotta love that. Of course, we will be doing a slideshow. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. We usually wait until about a week before the next project goes live. So our slideshow, if you want to have that deadline in mind, will be on March 12th when we'll do the whole pitter-patter slideshow with all those quilts. So if you want to be a part of it, so make sure you take your photo and maybe post it on the 11th. Don't post the day of, then it won't make it. And it's appropriate because it's about a week before the March project goes live. The March project, you wonder, what is the March project? Well, next week, Tipsy Tuesday, March 2nd, is when we're going to announce the third trimester project for Fast and Furious Club. So that'll be March, April, and May. So the last 3 of season 2, which is kind of incredible how fast this season went.
Flying by.
This year is flying by already. We're almost done with February. So, which means our forecast that we're seeing is like warm temperatures. Well, we're talking about 30s, some 40s. That is just beautiful when we see that changeover. So gotta love that. Gets you in the little bit of a spring mood, a little bit. So don't miss next week's Tipsy Tuesday. And another thing that will kind of expire in February, if you were wondering and still thinking about it, the Christmas in Europe block of the month will not start until July. and our kits will go on sale in June. However, if you want to secure yourself a fabric kit, you don't need a fabric kit to participate. If you wanted to secure a fabric kit for yourself at a $20 discount, also, this is the last few days of, so February is the last month to order the pre-order for, or the reservation for the fabric kit. So it's only a $10 reservation fee that gets deducted from the final price of the fabric kit. So check that out. Do we have that image just to show them? So
Which one?
the Christmas in Europe poster. There it is. So all kinds of fun stuff. Of course, you can see the backing, which is included in the kit. That's the backing fabric, that multi-print there. The color story is kind of listed on the bottom. Of course, we're not going to be using solids. If you know me, we're not going to use solids. It's all prints. And so this is just kind of the color story of the quilt, so you get a little bit of an idea. But I have not revealed the prints yet. All right, so we also did something fun today, this morning. I promised you that I was going to get my little table runner that I finally found again, my Valentine's table runner quilted on my Longarm, and shoot a little video of the process of getting it on the Longarm and what needs to happen before Gertie takes over. And so we did a quick video of the whole process. So just bear in mind, I did not do like hair and makeup or anything like that before I shot the video. It was just kind of on a whim, shot on a cell phone.
I did hair and makeup.
You did hair and makeup, but you were behind the camera, so it did not really matter. What kind of hair did you do, by the way?
Just kidding.
You put a hat on? Is that it?
Yeah, that's my hat.
All right, so let's check out this little video of me and Gertie, which is, if you don't know who Gertie is my Innova Longarm quilting machine. So let's check this one out. Hi everybody, I wanted to show you the process of putting the quilt on my Longarm and what it takes. So I have zippers on my Innova Longarm. So what I've done is I've taken the backing. This is just going to be a table runner, so it's small. So I've sewn that to just with a really long stitch, so just like a basting stitch. So I've sewn the zippers onto my backing. So now all I got to do is just attach them, just zip them on. So do the back one first. You gotta make sure that obviously you have it turned correctly so that the back side of the backing is facing up. So obviously you want to make sure that you stitch it to the zippers in the middle. So make sure your backing is centered. Now normally if I was doing a big quilt, this would be reaching all the way, but this is all for us so we can get it all quilted in one session. I'm going to attach these clamps to the sides of the backing. This is going to keep it taut from the sides. And then it attaches to a clamp here that we can adjust as needed. So here's the table runner topper, and it's perfect to use just batting scraps for these little projects. So now you lay your batting on top of the backing, and you don't attach that anywhere, that just lays flat. And then we also just float the topper on. The next step is making sure it is straight, and then I'm going to baste it to the backing, so baste through all layers, and I can go all the way around. If I was doing a big quilt, I would just baste the back and the sides, but we can do all the way around. The runner is basted and ready. I've chosen my pattern, which is a really fun, it's called Cupid, and so it's little hearts and swirls. I picked my thread, which is hot pink. I think would be great on this. And I've trimmed off the pattern, so now all we got to do is just hit that start button and tie it off. And so first it will go to where it's going to start. It's building the profile. In this case, we can quilt the whole thing, which is great. In one session, we don't have to advance it at all. I'm just going to pull the bobbin thread up. And we're going to let her go. Okay, Gertie is done, so time to take it off. Turned out awesome. So all we do is unzip her. She is. And to get these off, it's as easy as just open them up. Cut, bind, and use. Next up. Yay, we got her done this morning. Now I just gotta bind it. Now, I have a runner ready for next Valentine's Day. How awesome is that? It's okay, we can do these things year round. It'll get used. All right, I saw a bunch of questions. So I think we need to get to some questions. One,
How does it know the dimensions?
oh, the dimensions. I don't have the largest frame they have. I have the next one down. I believe it's one. I can quilt up to like 110 or something. So frame is probably like, I don't remember the dimensions, but I don't have the biggest one, but I can easily quilt a king size.
How long it takes
No
to
problem.
quilt?
That runner, after it's on the machine, it doesn't take long at all. So the setup and everything, like 15 minutes, 20, 25, depends on the size of your quilt. Obviously, a little runner takes a short time. The quilting, I think it probably didn't take more than 10, 15 minutes. We actually did put this quilt behind me on the frame at 1 o'clock, and it was done at 2 o'clock. Yes, that's how fast it goes. And we were speeding a little bit, but yeah, not that long at all. I saw some questions and comments about my cardigan, my sweater. Do I baste by hand? No, the machine bastes the top through the batting and backing. However, basting the backing onto the zippers, that's just done on a regular machine. And we use actually one of my Singer vintage ones, 301s. It's perfect because it just zooms through anything, and a basting stage on that is just perfect. Okay. Yeah, about my sweater. My sweater, It's called, my son Gisli calls it the cowdigan. It's not a cardigan because it has a cow pattern on it. It's the cowdigan. That was pretty funny. Okay. Any other questions? Are there markings on the zippers so you can get the back on straight? So there is a center, just a center mark. So you can take your backing and you find the center of it and you just pin it down, and it sews on straight and it goes on straight. So always have it centered. That's the key to it. So I saw a question why I chose Innova over anything else. I researched quite a bit. I've gone to quilt markets for 20 years, and every time I walk by a Longarm booth, I always stop and go, ooh, I wish. So the reason why I chose Innova was number one, it's pretty dang quiet. Number two, very little maintenance that you need to do on a day-to-day basis. You don't need to oil anything except for just, your bobbin case. And just overall low maintenance, quality. It really, the stitch, beautiful stitch, and really good customer service, and that's what you need. So that's why I chose that. And those were most of the things why. So
You quilt for customers?
I do not quilt for customers. Nope. Nope, we don't do that. Just for us. And so far, been pretty busy doing that. And I do love that because we can get samples done quickly. If we have some fabric coming in, we can get them done and make up a sample for you guys to see the fabrics in a quilt very quickly. All of the stuff, if I'm producing a book or new patterns, everything zooms so much faster. But know that I still use my Longarm quilters because all I do with Gertie right now is edge to edge all over quilting. So all of my special quilts that need any kind of, special treatments, they go to the specialists still. I can't. Susan's asking, do you just use the computer system to quilt, or will you freehand at all? I only use it for now. I can freehand, and I might try it. I haven't done it yet, but it's mainly just because I don't have the time. But if I get the urge, I can do that. Absolutely. How many placemats can you do on Gertie at one time? Oh, if you line them up like this, I'm sure you could do 6 at a time. Something like that.
What are the quotes behind?
Oh, the quilts behind me, we have a brand new one here on the wall that was just quilted today. It's not even bound yet. It's called Ellipse, and this one is in my Stripology Squared book, done with 10-inch squares. The one in the corner is Camilla. She was there last week too. And then we have on the cabinet is Spilled Beans Table Runner. That one was our, I think, February or March project in Fast and Furious Club last season. So I just thought I'd throw that up there if you wanted to make something fun for Easter. So it's little jelly beans. It's a fun little runner. You can do with a charm pack and some background fabric. Quilt as you go.
I had those two backwards because when you told them.
Oh, you flipped it?
Well, that's how you told it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so someone mentioned that. So
Oh.
I wanted you to explain that again.
Oh,
so
okay.
Thank you for appreciate it.
Oh, okay. That was my fault. We were a little flustered starting the show.
Shh, don't tell them. They don't know.
Okay. All right. I see a lot of questions on the long arm. Any more long arm questions? Oh, Gertie, is she loud? No, not at all. We have open offices, so there's no ceiling. So if everything is open, my office is right next door, and we can still talk normal and do everything. And it's great. I can hear when she's getting ready to be done, and so. What quilting thread do I use? I have been using Omni by, I think it's Superior Threads. Omni, which is a polyester thread, and then I use a little bit thinner thread in the bobbin. But I can show you guys. It's
Tell them about the clamps on there.
The clamp system comes with the Innova, so it's really nice. I really like the wide clamps on the side because it just kind of pulls everything tight and like at a wider angle. So very nice. And they do have those clamps, so you can have your machine set up either with zippers or clamps on each side instead of the zippers. We like the zippers because we can prep. We can have two backings prepped because we have two sets of zippers, and we can probably get more if we wanted to. So we can have back sewn on to the zippers and just be ready. And even if you are quilting a quilt and you don't finish, if you're doing something custom, you can unzip it, put something else on, and then zip it back on and finish. So that's kind of the beauty about the zippers. You don't have to, they just zip right on exactly how. Oh yeah, I walk away all the time. You get her going, and then she'll just stop when it's time to advance her, and then go back in.
How'd you come up with Gertie?
Oh, I talked about it. So Gertrude is a name that means, yeah, well, now I don't completely remember the full description, but it was something about creativity, and it was kind of like get her done type of name. And so I love Gertrude and Gertie. So Gertie and Goody hanging out together, it was just perfect. So, huh? How do you know when the bobbin is empty? It will stop. So it'll stop and beep when the bobbin is empty. So usually I know, depending on the size of the quilt, I'll usually be okay with 2 bobbins. If a bigger quilt, probably 3 bobbins. So I kind of know, depending on the density of the quilting now, and I'm learning more about it, how far I can go before the bobbin runs out. So like this one, I advanced it twice, and then I decided, you know what, I'm going to switch the bobbin, and it was getting pretty low, so it wouldn't have made it through that last one. So it's easier to just swap out the bobbin before it runs out, so then you don't have to kind of maneuver and start up back in the middle of the quilt again. I thought you had to use cotton thread for quilting. No, actually a lot of long armors use either a poly blend or poly. I use cotton when I'm quilting on my domestic, but I use always cotton for piecing. Always cotton for piecing.
Gertie will be 102 in April.
Wow, see? They're just, you know what? Kick, you know what? Kind of women. Workhorses. I would have to show you. I don't even know how much they take, but they're pretty large. They're, I would say, quadruple the size of a regular sewing machine bobbin. So yeah, they take a lot. Any other questions on this stuff? I know we could talk about this for a whole show. So maybe we have to do that another time.
This is from Amy.
Oh, any questions? Send an email to help@gequiltdesigns.com if you have any specific questions about, well, anything. That is the place to go. But I got a lot to show you today because I got some advanced fabric. Yes, advanced fabric. So some of our fabric that we have on pre-order, I got some advanced so I can make some stuff with it. And so I thought I would share it with you because I just know how different it is to see fabric in real life or on camera in real life than just little image swatches, right? So I thought I would show you. But let me have a sip of my hurricane first. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, honey.
Cheers.
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. I'm working.
Getting pretty low over there. All right, which one we're starting with? We're starting with Boudoir. So Boudoir, these are all Moda lines because they're so kind and send me fabric ahead of time. So Boudoir will be a 15-piece bundle. It's all neutrals, and this is by Basic Gray. They have done this type of line every year for a while, and I love them. They're very classic patterns, but kind of cool shadings. So I don't have all 15, but I have at least 13. But just to show you kind of the pattern, so it has just a little bit of that, I would say, call this almost a cream, kind of a taupey cream. So we have the medium tones, and then this is the darker tone of that same print. We have, I love these tones that even though they're all the same, just neutrals, you can get such different shades within it. It has just a touch of, I don't want to call it pink, but it's like a mauvey taupe in some of them. But it's very subtle, but it just gives it a little bit more depth. Here we have a stripe, and we have this hexagon pattern or honeycomb almost, and another linear pattern. Is not quite a stripe, but a linear one. And we go into the lighter grays, which have kind of a lot of brown in them, so they're very warm grays, very warm, with a little bit of that cream in there. That print again, and then here's the big main print that I showed you in that lightest gray tone, and then we go into the lightest tone of all of them. And so I've been kind of racking my brain what I would make with this, and of course I have made similar colorways out of many quilts. So I made a Trinity using their last line, and I have made the Prisms quilt out of Stripology Squared book, and many more too that so I've been trying to think, but I think I may do, I've always wanted to do a Lexi in neutral, so I think this would be a very classy Lexi. Probably would use a nice solid background, like something very cream in those lightest tones, but I don't know. These are always just so classic. You can mix them all together if you have some of the previous lines. And of course, with Basic Gray, they always come out with grunges that match. And this is one of my favorite ones that's coming out with this one, because it's just a beautiful tone of gray with a little bit of kind of a black and light gray in it. So this will be coming, I believe this is shipping April. All of these that I'm showing you are shipping April, but you can pre-order your bundle now, of course. All right, next one up. Which one is next? Oh, one of my favorites, Dance in Paris. So this is by Zen Chic, another one of my favorite designers from Moda. She did a line last year that was called A Day in Paris. This is a very similar line, just a little bit different patterns, very similar colorway. But I put together two bundles for this one. So it does have some pink prints, but I decided to leave them out. There's, of course, specks of pink in the line. But I think I just didn't like how they blended with the other colors. I love this kind of using all the blues and the greens. And then you could always use the pink to accent with or as a background, because it just blends nicely with it. So great kind of combination of navy, light blue, this kind of a limey green, and then teal, and then just those hints and specks of pink. So there's also gold metallic in there, just like her last lines. And again, if you have some of her Day in Paris, it will blend perfectly. So this is the bundle. It has 14 pieces, because I couldn't make up my mind and narrow it down to 12, because I wanted it really well balanced. So I wanted enough of the darkest, medium, green. So there's kind of two tones of green in here too, which I like. And then we have the light blue, and then one more navy. So this is the bundle. It is, like I said, 14 pieces. And then there are accent fabrics that are going to be, well, wait, so this is one of the bundles. Then I have a Day in Paris, no, not Day in Paris, Dance in Paris neutral bundle, which is just 6 pieces, which is like the grays and lights. I'm actually missing one of the grays, so there'll be 3 grays and 3 lights. So that's in that Dance in Paris neutral bundle. You see that gray I'm missing there on the photo. But that, so this would work with it as well, or that's why I wanted to have it a separate bundle, because you can work with this just on its own like this. But then, of course, it is Zen Chic, so her basic line is spotted. And spotted has, so she always comes out with spotted colors. This one I love because it is kind of specks of gray in it and gold metallic. All of them will have gold metallic, so we're getting all of those in 1 yard as well. And here's the other colors. So 2 shades of gray, we got the pink, we got the teal, and the navy. So beautiful, beautiful line. Cannot wait for this one. You can do anything with this. I think, you know, can't really decide what I'm going to do with it yet. Probably something from the new book, but maybe more than one thing, I'm sure. But I love this one. I always love her designs. This was a very popular line last year that was similar to this. All right, next one up is, oh yes, Botanicals. Botanicals is by Janet Claire, another favorite designer. And so this one is, I chose all the neutrals, and I just loved the main print, which is all these birds. I love bird prints. I have a little thing for them. So this one, because it's all such neutral colors, it all just works well together. So there's the bird print in this bundle. It comes in 3 colorways, and then beautiful prints to go with it. So very soft and warm, but warm colors. So warm grays and taupes, and into the darker ones. So I love this kind of basic print. And here we have the feathers, kind of working as a stripe almost. We have one typography print, very subtle, but I love it. Very subtle. It says beauty, singing, glorious, heavenly. Just fun words, not too loud there. And then into the darkest gray. Here's the darkest gray print, bird print. We will be getting some of the bird prints in bigger quantity, so we'll have those in like 3 yards. So here is the medium gray bird print. It's just gorgeous. So this one is going to be a popular one because it's just so classic, very classic. All right, so this is Botanicals. Next up is, ooh, we're gonna get some Halloween-y fabrics, although this is Pumpkins and Blossoms by Fig Tree. And so they're really classic prints, but just in those colorways of fall, I would say. So I chose a very controlled colorway. There is a green in this line, which I just didn't like. It was too lime green, and I thought this was so classic like this. And so I liked it just like that. So let me show you. So this orange is very subtle, so not sharp. It's almost more a peach than it is orange, I think. What do you think, Mr. HP? What does this look like to you? Would you say this is orange?
It's orange to me.
Oh, it looks orange to you. Okay. And then we have some of the cream background, a very classic Fig Tree cream background, and then mixing in both of that orange and that charcoaly taupe. It was kind of a lot of warmth in that gray and light prints. And then we go into the taupes, so lighter taupes. Love this print. It's little deer or antelopes or something, so super cute. And then we have the darker, I don't know if we should call this charcoal or brown. It's kind of in between gray and brown, but just a beautiful, beautiful colorway. It just works so well together. So this is a 12-piece bundle like this, and very soft, but I kind of on purpose, you could take these middle ones and they can be your lights, these can be your darks. We are also getting some coordinates, so we'll be getting some awesome plaids, diagonal plaids, gotta love that, and then some beautiful backgrounds in the creams. So we'll have some 1 yards to go with everything. Cannot wait. So this would of course make a great Wanda with that bias plaid or anything else. You can mix them all together for like an algorithm or fractions. Just really pretty typical Fig Tree. All right. Next one is another Halloween Midnight Magic. So Midnight Magic 2, you of course seen Midnight Magic 1 is the one that I did the original Wanda with. And this one comes also, I think is coming in April or May. And so I picked 6 oranges and 6 kind of gray blacks to kind of match what I did with my Wanda. So very similar prints. This is by April Rosenthal. And so they are more, this is more orange. Just look at the difference. This is more peach, right? And this is more orange. Orange, black, and gray. And even though these are kind of Halloween prints with the black cat and the candy corn, I think it's still very subtle. Still subtle. And we got a little bit of skulls. But I love these prints. I love the sharpness of them. And when they come together in a quilt too. So then we have the blacks and grays in the bundle. Let me move it over here. So some of the same prints in that different colorway. I love this with the polka dots in the background and the cats on top. So this is the bundle, 12 pieces, 6 orange, 6 black and gray. So very nicely balanced for lights and darks or anything you want to do, like my Wanda. And then we're also getting a couple of things. I love this background. So it's just a really small print with stars, gray, black, and orange stars on a really nice white background or off-white background. And then we're getting some of the bias plaids that go with this too. So it's kind of like a buffalo or almost a gingham on the bias though. So diagonal gingham or small buffalo plaid. So this is Midnight Magic 2. We'll probably put together some Wanda bundles for sure. Next up we have Robin Pickens, of course, another favorite, an awesome lady, good friend that I introduced you to during one of our sew-alongs. And she follows our shows, owns all the stripology rulers, so she's a stripologist. But she does the most gorgeous fabric. And so this line, Cottage Blue, is a very specific colorway, and I narrowed it really down to a control colorway. This is the main print, hydrangeas and butterflies. Isn't this gorgeous? This is just awesome. So I did the navies and teals. So here's the butterfly print. Okay, yeah, this is not here yet, but it will be. Here's butterflies and kind of berry flowers. We have an awesome stripe in there. And here we have that green colorway. I'll show you the big print first. The green, oh, I just love this. It's lime green, but not so screaming in your face. It's just a perfect tone of lime green. She is so brilliant with her color. And love this print too. Kind of like a pencil drawing. And then this color is absolutely one of my favorites. I mean, I don't know what you call this color. Almost like a, oh, what would you call this color? You know, it's called like peacock many times in fabric. But, yeah, I don't know what you really call it. So it's in between a teal and a green. So I just love it. I've always looked for this color, but it's hard to find. And then we go into the more kind of turquoisey, teal, not quite aqua though. A lot of green in here because it goes so well with those lime green hydrangeas. And so then we go more of the turquoise here. Here's the last one, the lightest of the blues. But still, it's just all in the same family. It's just beautiful. And here's the butterflies. Oh, we need more space. Need more space. Right here, and then another stripe. So this is the bundle. It's a big bundle. I believe, what is it? 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 piece bundle, but we will get some coordinates. I know we're getting some more of this that we'll have in 3 yards. How gorgeous would this be for the back of a quilt? So, and then of course Robin's basic line is the thatched, and so we will be getting some of these thatched colors as well. Look at that awesome teal and the green, and so many of the colors we're getting in the thatched, and all of her other thatched work well. So she already has like this tone of blue, of navy, I think it's called midnight or something. Use that a lot. So this will all be just a great coordinating pack. All right, is that all of them? Did we get through them all? I think so. So this, obviously, I want to mention again, this is not in store yet. We only have it on pre-order. Like I said, you can, once you click on the product, you can see the estimated delivery time. So they're all coming like April, May, is my guess. Maybe some late March, but most of them April, May. So something to look forward to. But always, the pre-orders are really just a great way to kind of secure you're going to get a bundle.
Gorgeous.
All right, so then let me show you what we have. We have this stuff in the store, brand new. I'm going to start with this one. It's called Primavera. It's it's a line from Figo Fabrics. And then, of course, I did my little maneuvering and added some basics to go with it to really round out the bundle. So I'm going to start with this print. So it's really a controlled colorway of these kind of magenta, purples, and pinks, and then these awesome deep greens and light greens. So I started with this one, and then this is the darkest one, diagonal plaid, beautiful. And then we go into kind of the softer pink. So this is one of the basics I chose with it to go with it, and love this print, these big roses. And then another basic. They just work so well together. And then we have the lightest of the pinks. So I love also to mix in lights and darks with the bundles. So then we have, is it magenta? Yeah, it is magenta. Called fuchsia. I mean, there's so many color names. So I love this light background. It has both colors, the green and the pink together. So pretty. And here's the other print with green background and the pink flowers with the light. So it kind of ties them all together. We have another darker basic. And then the big roses on a green background. I love this print, these pebbles and the different greens. And then the lightest green here. So very nicely split between green and pinks. Pinks and purples. And so I loved playing with pulling some 1-yarders with this. So I pulled like 5 pinks and 5 greens in the different shades. So very fun, and we will of course post this on in our fabric pulling post on our blog. But I wanted to show you those pinks. We'll start with the darkest one. I kind of pulled this one because it's plum. So it's the Nature Elements Ripe Plum, because it just really goes well with this, and then it has those pinks in there as well, and just a little bit of that kind of a light taupe, which goes well with a little specks of gold in here. So we have Ripe Plum, and then the next one would be Speckled Berry, hints of gold, of course, but that works well with the gold in here. We have Deco Stitch Orchid Berry, and then we have Rainbow Shimmer Magenta. So this one has the gold in there too, but it's like a perfect, like I said, magenta. And then this is the lightest one. This is Speckled Metallic Daisy, because it's a light pink, but it has the darker pink in here, and then of course a little bit of gold, a little bit of shimmer glimmer. Gotta have that. And then we have the greens, or this is kind of like the peacock color I was saying. So this is Canvas Peacock, so the darkest green. We have Jade was the name I was looking for. It's kind of jade color. So this is Grunge Dark Jade. Love it that it has specks of light and a little bit of that gold in there. This is one of my favorite fabrics. We've had it for a while. This is Redux Calypso Polaris. So this is the exact color. I've loved this color for a really long time. I use it for the background of one of my Lucy quilts. And then we go a little bit of the lighter green. So this is Prisma in the Larmer C color. And then Speckled Icebox. Love this light one because it has the darker greens and teals in here. So what a perfect, if you need more of those colors, round it out. Now, if you wanted to really something to pop, like if you wanted to make a Wanda, for example, and you wanted that stripe or you wanted a cool binding, I found this perfect one. This one is called Stripe Ragged Teal Yellow. Yes, it has yellow, but look at this. There's yellow in here everywhere. So you have all the teals in here, and the dark and the light, and then you have that yellow. And it's like an awesome, would be an awesome, awesome binding or a sashing, narrow border, anything. Cool stripe. So this is in stock and ready to go. Primavera by Figo. And we'll post all these 1 yards for you on the blog as well. So then we have also brand new hanging behind me. Should we check that out first? We made this quilt with this fabric. It's called Ariel by Wyndham. It is just gorgeous. So it's so colorful, very, very colorful. As you can see, it has all kinds of different colors. So I'm going to just show you the bundle because I know it's not going to last long. It's one of those where I almost have to apologize beforehand. But it's called Ariel because it has lots of butterflies and just really bright, sharp colors. So we have all of these, let me just show you. So all of these awesome colors, and at first you might like, they're all over the place. How does this even go together? Well, it does. Sometimes being wild, it just works. So here's one of the butterfly prints. Isn't that pretty? So the quilt that we made, and then it has some neutral grays in there too. So that one is made with 10-inch squares, and it's in my Stripology Squared book. And look at that. Awesome. And I have to say, if you wanted to make that quilt, because, you know, even though the pattern starts with 10-inch squares, you can get a lot more out of the bundle for that pattern because you can cut different types of rectangles for the pattern and really use up the bundle. Love this color. And then we have a little bit of pink. We have some red. I love these stripes. Just really fun kind of bubbles going. Here's the gray and the stripe. And then we have a yellow rainbow one, and then a lime green tone on tone. So this is the Ariel bundle by Wyndham. And so since it's so colorful, I didn't feel like pulling colors to balance it because the wildness really balances it, and you can kind of see that in our quilt. But if you wanted to find a print that, like for a border or for something bigger, I mean, obviously you can use a light background like I did for this quilt, but if you needed a border, what color would you pull out for a border? So I just kind of played with that a little bit. And so I think always when you're choosing a border for something really wild and different colors, I always go with kind of the darker hues. So I would probably go somewhere in the blues. So I found Deco Stitch Indigo Sky would be a great option. It has that dark navy and then the lighter blues tones in them, and so would the Floor Elements Lapis Lazuli, because it has so many shades of that blue in there. And then also the Mulberry, which goes perfectly with this tone, has some of the lighter pink in here, so it just is really nice and warm versus a cool color. And then if you wanted even warmer, you could go a red, kind of pulling all the reds out of here with a Circle Burst Cherry Red, because the print has also lots of movement. And then also this one, which is a very kind of an orangey red, the Calypso Cherry. Is almost a perfect match with this fabric. Now, if you wanted to do a really funky, wild binding or sashing or anything, I think this one would be the trick. So the Pavilion Stripe has all of the colors in here, pretty much, and then some. So really ties it all together. So I can't wait. Should we look at the one behind me again on the wall? Can you see it? Let me go this way. So the background I chose is actually a white background with a little bit of black in it. So it's kind of like a black on white. No, that one is Ellipse. Ellipse from
directly behind you.
This one, not the one in the corner. On the wall. Ellipse. There it is. There it is. We got it. Finally, end of the show, and we got it. So yeah, that's all that I was going to show you today. Now, do we have a winner? A live winner? I'm thirsty talking about all this fabric. Now I have so many quilts I want to make. Oh, Ellen! Congrats. Ellen Berry is our live winner. You've won a $25 gift card to the store. Please email us or send us a message if you see this. Otherwise, we will track you down and get that gift card to you so you can start shopping ASAP.
Shopping. We love shopping.
We love shopping. Free shopping. So I wanted just to finish up. Any questions? Are there any questions coming through on this?
Will there be a strip along soon?
Yes, there will be a strip along soon. We're actually going to be announcing the dates. It won't be until we'll start right after our retreat, which is end of March. So it'll be right in April, but which is the time we always have our strip alongs.
Ellipse a single pattern?
Ellipse is not a single pattern. It's in my Stripology Squared book. It's actually over here. I can just show you. Oops. This is the book, and it looks very different in the book because I use very different fabrics. Right there.
In the corner, Camila.
Camilla is in the first mixology book, and that one uses 2.5 inch strips. Ellipse uses 10-inch squares, but you can utilize a lot smaller pieces for it as well if you want to be scrappy. Okay, so our next show will be, of course, Tipsy Tuesday next week, March 2nd. Then, next week, we're not going to have a Friday show. We're not going to be having a Happy Friday show. Our next Happy Friday show will be March 12th because we're going to have a little getaway. Okay, is that okay with everybody? So, no show in a week from today, but we'll see you next week on Tuesday, March 2nd, and then March 12th for the next Friday show. So, you're going to have to drink hurricanes until then. How does that sound?
Somebody had a musician husband that wanted to know the Kosh Productions LTT.
Oh, okay. Can you put that on the screen for him? That's great. So that's the YouTube for all of his stuff.
Lots of great videos, or not lots.
No, there's not a lot of videos.
A couple, 2 or 3.
But there are some great videos.
Quality videos.
Yeah. All right, so that is it for us today. I hope you have an awesome weekend, some warmer temps that we're looking forward to a little bit, and we will see you next week, this coming Tuesday, for all the new projects for Fast and Furious Club. That's it for us. Have a great weekend, everybody. Cheers.